Yo, what's going on, guys? Waffles here, and welcome back to Murder Mystery 2. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a banger video. So some of you guys may know that for a long time I have been collecting Christmas items in Murder Mystery 2, specifically the Godlies and the Ancients, and we have finally been able to collect every single Godly in the Christmas section and every single Ancient in the Christmas section. Which is, it's actually kind of crazy. It makes your inventory look so much bigger. Now, of course, this wouldn't have been able to, happen without some of you guys. A lot of people have donated me some stuff during streams. BMat213, he gave me the last couple of Godlies that I needed, and he actually gave me some stuff to give away, so make sure to subscribe for that, for giveaways in the future. But here it is, ladies and gentlemen, my Christmas section, which has every single Godly and every single Ancient in the game. So I thought I would make a little video going through them. I'll probably make specific videos for some, if not all of these weapons. I like to do 1v1s where I showcase like the knives and the guns. I think it makes for a good video, so let me know in the comment section if you want that to happen. Also, let me know what kind of videos you want me to make. I would prefer if they're not all giveaways and all 1v1s. Even though I do enjoy a good 1v1, and especially sometimes I will enjoy good 1v1 bets when I'm playing with friends, or when I'm playing with people who honor the bet, but at the same time, I don't want that to be like all of my content. I like to make other weird videos, like, you know, reviewing weapons and, I don't know, just random stuff. So let me know what you want to see on the channel and I'll make it happen. Now, that being said, we're going to start with the Ancients with Icebreaker, the newest 2020 knife. Look at this thing. It is an absolute beast. It looks very impressive. So it's actually like one of the thickest knives in the game. I'm not even going to lie about that, but it just looks crazy. I mean, look at the eyes. Look at the detail that I don't have a use put into it. It looks amazing. I'm definitely going to be making a video on this set on its own, so stay tuned for that in the future. But next we have the Icewing, probably my least favorite of the Christmas section. This thing is quite possibly the most mass-duped item in the game. Of course, it's kind of hard to tell now since everything's been duped in the game, but you know what I mean, right? It's pretty interesting. Apparently it has a really big hitbox, which I guess is kind of overpowered, but that doesn't really stop you from getting shot by a sheriff who's on PC, so even I would rather have something that looks good than something that gives me an advantage that doesn't look good, and that advantage could be like easily stopped, if you know what I mean. Next we have the Log Chopper. This was from 2019. It is a very beautiful knife as well. I really enjoy this set, the Log Chopper and the Minty, which we'll show in a second. I don't know, it's just something about it, very clean, very classy. I really like it. I think something to improve that they could have done was to mirror it, so that way instead of it's a single-sided axe, it would have been like Icebreaker where it's a double-sided axe. I think that personally for me would look a lot better. Next we have Candy the Godly, the original Christmas unboxable Godly knife from 2015. It's crazy, but I like this knife. However, the way you hold it upside down, so you actually hold it from this end, like where the actual, like the cane part of it is, the turn, you hold it from there, and this part is the top. It looks really weird when you're walking around with it, but it does have a little bit of an OG knife like feeling to it, so it gets plus it gets plus OG cool points, I guess. But yeah, it's very unique in the way you hold it. Next we got Chill. This thing used to be like everybody's desire, at least when I started playing. Like everybody wanted a Chill because it was like heat but blue and it was hard to get. It was valuable. When I was playing, this thing used to be like 1,000. Of course that was before it was mass duped. But you know what I mean, right? Like it used to be actually like pretty desirable, but nowadays I feel like it's everyone wants a chroma, even if the chromas aren't that good. Like everyone just wants a chroma because it looks cool. But yeah, when I started, this thing was like a bucket list kind of item. Next we have Cookie Blade, arguably the worst thing from the 2020 event. Personally, I think Cookie Blade and Peppermint were the worst two out of the event, but you know what? It's good filler, and at least Cookie Blade has a gun that goes with it. Peppermint doesn't, so I mean, at the very least, it does have a gun that goes with it to complete the set. It's a very interesting knife. Personally, I like parts of it, but I also don't like the color scheme. I think it could have been a little bit different, something a little bit cooler. But for what it is, it's alright. It's alright. Next we have Eternal Cane, possibly the cleanest and best looking Eternal in the game. It looks very good. It's basically Peppermint with the Eternal layout. It was a shop MM2 exclusive where you had to buy a piece of merch or something from the store. I think there was t-shirts, sweatshirts, and something else available during this run, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it's a pretty cool knife, and yeah, I think that's all I have to say about it. Frostbite is interesting. It's a very interesting knife. The pack that it came with was actually pretty cool. I like the effect that came with it. However, the knife is a little weird. I mean, it doesn't have a gun that goes with it. I mean, technically you could use it with this, to be fair. But until this event, it didn't have a gun that could go with it. It's a little weird because it's a little jagged. Like, a lot of the knives are, you know, clean in aesthetic, like the looking, but the edge on here is just jagged, which I guess makes it unique, so it's pretty cool. But at the same time, I don't know. It's not my favorite, but it's not the worst either. Next we have Frost Saber. Frost Saber is very, like, it's very clean. I used to use it because it's basically the closest thing to an actual sword you're going to get in Murder Mystery 2. It literally is a sword, so it's pretty cool. I remember back in the day, I wanted this really badly because, you know, I'm a big fan of, like, the medieval themes, so medieval and MM2 plus it's Christmas themed. What can go wrong? You know what I mean? It's a pretty good knife overall. Next we have Ginger Luger, the Luger that got, I think it was 2nd or 3rd place in the poll that I ran for which Luger was the best. It's basically a gingerbread handle with peppermint on the top, and I guess the green is like frosting or something. I'm not really sure what the green was supposed to be, but it's Christmas themed. It's a Luger, so, you know, it gets plus, you know, cool points. And I guess when it came out, it was actually very desirable. I remember crafting one. It was very fun, actually. So yeah, it's definitely, like, an interesting gun. I think it's not that bad, but, you know, it's not my favorite in the world. Let's see. Next we have Gingerblade, its counterpart. So Gingerblade is basically like Ginger Luger, however, it's the knife version. That's really all you gotta say about it. It was the unboxable. It's a pretty good knife. When you're using this knife, it throws weird, which is pretty unique, so that's pretty cool. Then we have Chroma Gingerblade, the second ever Chroma to release in the game. At the time, it was, like, pretty cool, pretty rare. Originally, actually, a cool fact, this is a cool fact with Waffles. Originally, when you had this knife out, it didn't have any, like, brown, like, okay, when you look at this, you see how it's, like, brown on the blade, like, the actual, like, ginger part of it? Originally, it was gray. The knife was, like, gray with the chroma on top. It actually looked really sick, but obviously Nick fixed it so that way it, you know, went with the set. I think it would have been cooler to leave it as gray, or at least leave, like, some of them as gray, you know what I mean? Like, update it for all the ones that are unboxed after that point, but leave the OG ones as gray, because I think that would be just really cool. But, yeah, it's a fun fact with Waffles. Next we have Green Luger, one of my favorites, one of the OG guns. It goes with my outfit, so, you know, it already gets plus 20 billion cool points. It's a very lovely Luger, personally one of my favorites. I think I prefer this one over the Red Luger. Some people might criticize me for that, but you know what? I think it just looks a little bit cleaner, and at one point in time it had more, before, you know, duping and stuff, it actually had more demand than Red Luger at one point. So you know what? It's good in my books. It's one of the god tiers. Next we have Handsaw, arguably the ugliest of the Christmas knives. A lot of people criticize the knife because of the texture. I think Nicholas should go back through and make it like its own custom texture, because he basically, this is a knife off of the Roblox catalog. I think it would be cool if he instead, like, made it its own texture, made it a little bit thicker. That way people actually had, you know, desire for it. Personally, I have nothing against the knife. I like it. It's unique, alright? It was one of the very first to come out in the game, so honestly, it's unique in my opinion. I believe you had to craft this with saw and something else. I don't remember. I'm sure you can find the lore and stuff on the Wikipedia or something, but yeah, I'm pretty sure this was a craftable. Okay, next we got Ice Dragon. You see, there's a lot of godlies I still have to get to, so I'm trying to go through this as quick as possible. Ice Dragon's pretty cool. One of my old, like, favorites. I used to use this a lot. I don't know, it just looks very clean, also very close to a sword. Not as close as Frost Saber, because that's an actual sword, but before Frost Saber came out, this was the closest thing to a sword you could get in the game. It looks very clean, very sick, goes good with blue outfits. Ice Shard, it's cool. Nicholas really likes it. Personally, for myself, it's alright. It's not my favorite. It's not the worst. It's not the worst, believe it or not, but it's not my favorite either. Actually, it might be the worst. I think it ties for the worst with Icewing. Next we have Ice Blaster. I actually really like this gun because it's very thick. Like, if you look at it, it's like one of the thickest guns in the game. The handle is very cool. The color scheme is very nice. Personally, overall, I think it is the second best godly or item from this year's Christmas event. The only thing that beats it is the Icebreaker itself, because that thing just is like on another level of cool. But yeah, there we go. Jingle Gun. I also got 2 of these. One of them is actually given away. Actually, okay. This is being given away on Twitter soon. Jingle Gun, the giveaway is already going on. Make sure to enter and subscribe. But yeah, Jingle Gun, it's pretty alright. I actually really like it. I think it's pretty unique for what Nicholas was going with. It's kind of like, it's you know, it's Christmas lights around like a cookie gun in a way. I actually really like it. It might be supposed to be wood, actually. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be wood, but it could be cookie blade, like a cookie gun, you know? It's because I mean, I think it's supposed to go with the cookie blade, so I guess you know, maybe make a connection between the two. I'm not really sure. Nicholas should make his own lore page, to be honest. Okay, next we've got Luger Cane. Everybody on the poll said this was the best. If I'm not mistaken, everybody likes Luger Cane. It was a last year's gift exchange gun, if I'm not mistaken. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's alright. I think the handle could be a better mesh, a better color. The brown is a little bit, like, kind of weird to me. It's, like, not really a brown. It's more of, like, a gray. You see what I mean? The gun itself goes with a lot of stuff, so that's pretty cool. Overall, I don't think I have anything necessarily wrong with it, except for the handle. I think they could have retextured or recolored that to something a little bit brighter. Minty, it's very plasticky. I think it's one of the most plastic-looking guns. I mean that in not, like, the worst way, but, like, it just looks very different. Especially the leaderboard prizes. The colors just don't go well with the mesh, and it looks very, like, toy gun. Like, it's like... You'll see what I mean if you've ever seen one in game. It just looks very plastic, kind of fake looking. Otherwise, I have nothing wrong with the gun. Peppermint, the odd one out from this event. It's very interesting, very unique, considering there was no gun that went with this one. I'm not really sure why Nick put it in this event. I guess, you know, you gotta have some peppermint themed stuff since it's Christmas. Maybe we'll get a gun for it next year. Maybe next year's item pack will be a gun on its own. I think Nicholas has never done that before. I don't think a gun has actually ever been involved with an item pack before, so that could be a first. Nicholas, if you know, do it. Just make it be unique. Anyways, moving on. Red Luger. It's a very cool gun. Once again, very, like, god tier. Plus OG points, plus cool points. It's very clean looking. Personally, I like the green one better, but otherwise, it's very good looking, and I really like it. Yeah, that's really all I gotta say about it. Snowflake, it's a cool knife. It's very small. I think it's one of the smallest godlies. It should be longer. It should, like, you know, I mean, just look at it. I feel like it should be a little bit longer or a little bit larger. I don't know. Something about it just doesn't fit right. I mean, like, look at the size, like, compared to a Luger. It just doesn't look right. So it's gonna get minus cool points in my book. Next, we got Sugar. Very OG, very nice. One of my personal favorite guns in the game. It's nothing really tops it. It's very, very unique looking. I mean, look at this. Compared to the rest of the guns, like, you got Lugers, and you got blasters, and you got your lasers, and whatnot. But it's nothing has ever tried to come close to a minigun, so I think that's really cool. Next we have Winter's Edge, one of my personal favorites. It's very clean, very good looking. I like the color scheme on it that Roblox made. Honestly, nothing wrong with it, in my opinion. I think it was actually very cool, and when I unboxed like 5 of them a couple years ago during the event, I was very hyped about that. So, personally, it resonates everything good with the Christmas events, in my opinion, so I really like it. And finally, last but not least, we have Xmas, one of my all-time favorite godlies in the entire game. It's very unique. Once again, it's a Christmas tree. I don't think anything has tried to be a Christmas tree yet. Nothing has really come close to that, so I think that's really, really unique. Hopefully we see more unique knives like this, and, you know, we got Christmas tree. Maybe we could get, like, a pumpkin knife. I mean, we have pumpkin, but, like, maybe an actual, like, pumpkin knife or pumpkin gun, actually. Oh, that'd be kind of sick, you know. Like, a pumpkin gun, maybe like a custom model where the end of it is like literally a pumpkin and it's like a circle. I think that could be really cool. So something more like unique like this, like where the presents are the base and it's a Christmas tree. I think it did really well, and I think it's one of the best. But ladies and gentlemen, that does bring us to the end of the list. All of the godlies and the ancients in the Christmas section for Murder Mystery 2. Hopefully this video wasn't too long, but make sure to subscribe, leave a like, join the Discord server, follow me on Twitter down below. Everything is linked down below, and I hope you guys have enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.